اللهم مجري السحاب منزل الكتاب.
The Pilgrims Affairs Office of Ghana since the beginning of the year has been preparing for the 2019 Hajj season with all available resources to ensure another successful pilgrimage. Close to 3,000 Ghanaian pilgrims from the northern zone were airlifted from the Tamale airport to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the Hajj from July 24 to July 28, 2019 without any challenges. The first batch of 462 Ghanaian pilgrims took off from the Tamale International Airport at 12:45 p.m. Ghana time and arrived in Medina around 6:45 p.m. The Zamzam water meant for the Northern Zone pilgrims for their take-home was airlifted by the aircraft from Medina to Tamale even before the pilgrims left for Saudi Arabia. The fifth batch of pilgrims, including Media General's Hajj correspondent Tanko Mohammed Rabiu, arrived at the Prince Mohammed bin Abdulaziz International Airport in Medina.
منزل الكتاب هازم الأحزاب انصر إخوان.
On arrival at the various hotels in Medina, pilgrims were well received by the members of the security assistance team made up of the security services from Ghana. Our Hajj correspondent interacted with the Deputy Communications Director of the Pilgrims Affairs Office of Ghana, Haji Ilyasu Haruna.
Alhamdulillah, we give praises and glory to Almighty Allah who has made this a possibility. At least this is my third year of Hajj operations, but I have never seen this kind of flow as far as Hajj operations in the history of Ghana is concerned. The flow is so exciting. Pilgrims are beaming with smiles and excitement. All those who paid with the Ghana Hajj Board legitimately and are fit to come are being airlifted.
Ghanaian pilgrims from the fifth batch left Medina for Mecca for the Hajj rituals, starting with Umrah at the Masjid Haram. At Mikhat, a few kilometers from Medina, pilgrims put on their ihram, the two white pieces of cloth for males and normal decent prayer attire for the females, to perform Umrah at Masjid Haram in Mecca. Pilgrims from the first to fourth batch had already completed their Umrah rites. Residents of Nozha, a suburb of Mecca where Ghanaian pilgrims are usually accommodated in several hotels, officially welcomed Ghanaian pilgrims to their community. Over the years, pilgrims from Ghana reside in Nozha due to the serenity and hospitable nature. Exactly 2 days to the start of Hajj 2019, the Communications Department and the Dawah Committee of the Pilgrims Affairs Office of Ghana had completed the first phase of the pre-Hajj education for Ghanaian Hujjajs in Mecca ahead of the all-important ritual of Hajj, which is Arafah. After spending almost 2 weeks in Medina and Mecca, the over 6,000 Ghanaian pilgrims then joined other pilgrims across the world in Medina ahead of Arafah the next day, which is one of the pillars of Hajj. The Ghana Hajj Board had made adequate preparations to ensure pilgrims were comfortable throughout their stay in Saudi Arabia. Kamal Din Abdullahi is a member of the Ghanaian Hajj Board.
From the beginning, from home to where we are today, it is Almighty Allah who has made it possible. And also I will say that our chairman, Sheikh I.C. Kwe, and our able members of the board have been able to sit down and carve out directions that sought to see the registration of pilgrims and getting them visas and traveling their traveling aids to Saudi Arabia. If you come and see how pilgrims are excited about how they are being fed and about where they are sleeping and how they are being handled, the buses that carry them from Mecca to Mina and the buses that carry them from Medina to Mecca, the way in manner it has been organized, it's been awesome, it's been wonderful. And I would like to say that year on, we keep improving. We should continue to improve. We should continue to see to it that it is a duty to serve Almighty Allah. And therefore, whatever that we need to do to make the pilgrims of Ghana comfortable, we must make it to be so.
The medical department, led by Dr. Seydou Zakaria, went around the various Ghanaian tents to sensitize pilgrims on health issues associated with the Hajj exercise and distributed nose masks to protect them against airborne diseases. Pilgrims who required medical attention were attended to. Arafah falls on the 9th of Zulhijjah of the Islamic calendar. Pilgrims in Saudi Arabia were expected to visit and offer prayers due to its importance to mankind, as had been observed from the days of the Holy Prophet Mohammed, peace be upon him. It has been decreed by Prophet Muhammad that any prayer said on this day of Arafah is quickly accepted by Allah. After staying for 3 days in Mina, Hujjats returned to the Grand Mosque, which houses the Kaaba in Mecca, to perform Tawaf of Ifadah, which is the Tawaf of Hajj, with a 7 complete counterclockwise circuits around the Kaaba and then walking between the mountains of Safa and Marwa 7 times. After performing the final Tawaf called Wada, pilgrims leave to their various countries, ending the Hajj festivities.